All right, so Oliver, I don't mean to disagree with you heavily on this, because I personally am in your camp. I would love to say that it's transformative enough, and I used to say that years ago. I used to say that gaming was transformative enough that it should be fair use. However, over the 14 years I've been around YouTube, I can honestly say that no, it is not. And it simply works like this. There are two basic definitions you need to work with: derivative and transformative. A derivative work is basically taking the work, rebroadcasting it, but adding mild addition, right? You're not really doing much to it. And that's like most React channels. Most React channels, that's what they're doing right now. And right now that's becoming a major controversy. And I believe MXR is currently being fined by one company that has claimed copyright against their videos because their work is too derivative. It's not transforming enough of the content. It's not changing it enough to not replace that work as a whole. And I know you're going to say that videos are different. Gaming is different. It really is not, unfortunately. That's because if you're playing any game with a narrative structure whatsoever, you're going to have the same set pieces over and over again. You're going to have the same storyline over and over again. Even if you play it a different way, even if it's a sandbox game, even Minecraft has a mild, direct narrative. Once you play that through, you have essentially replaced someone needing to play that game. They've seen all the content that needs to be seen in the span of your videos or your streams. And so the question becomes, is what you do transformative enough to warrant fair use? Now, arguably, there are ways of doing that. Right now, Chase the Bro is doing a series of videos based on a modded version of Dark Souls 3, I think it is. 2 or 3. Probably 3. Where the bosses all have been redone and there's different orders and whatnot. And so that arguably is more transformative than just playing the standard stock Dark Souls 3. So he would have more of a case to say that his works are transformative, even though he did not make the mod, as long as he has permission from the mod maker to rebroadcast that work, then he would have more rights and more grounds to stand on to say that what he did is transformative. That what he did is taken the original work and recontextualize it. The problem is, you're not really recontextualizing anything when you stream. You're simply representing it. You're simply rebroadcasting it, maybe not in quite the same order, or maybe not in quite the same way as someone else, but it's still the work as a whole. And that's not the same as, like, your examples are like Monopoly and basketball, which neither of these make any sense in the context of this. The Monopoly example is closer to, because people can stream themselves playing Monopoly, and when they play Monopoly, they're playing with a physical product that's hard to reproduce and has different licensing. Like, again, you're meant to play this with others. You're meant to play this with other people. That's the idea. Game licenses have always been different. Game licenses have always been that you get one copy for you to play. You're not supposed to share it with other people. You're not supposed to let other people play on it. The whole concept that you are supposed to play it for yourself. They understand that, of course, people probably in the same household might play the same game multiple times or play different saves on a game. But the idea is that you are not taking from the market multiple people's money. That's one thing. You're not replacing the work as it exists in the marketplace. So, and that's always been the case. The licensing for gaming has always been different because it's a different product. I can't take a Wilson basketball, stick it in a scanner, and produce like an exact replica of a Wilson basketball. So not only does Wilson not take licensing on their basketballs, they don't take licensing on the basketballs. I mean, when you buy it, you're buying a physical product that doesn't have a license incorporated with it. So you don't get the same experience. I can take a game, copy that game, send out all over the place, and everyone would have a copy of it. I could pay $60 and 300 people can download it and not pay $60. That's illegal. That's piracy. But that's because this game can be done that way. This product has different rules. So you can't compare apples to oranges. You can't compare physical Monopoly or even virtual Monopoly to a narrative game. Again, as I said, board games, even virtual board games, would have a harder time DMCAing a stream or DMCAing content because they're going to have to make an argument that the visuals that you're seeing are enough to replace the experience with the game, which is going to be harder, again, because it is more of an interpersonal game. So games like Among Us, that's a little weaker case and whatnot. So games with more social interaction are going to be easier to say they're performance art and that you are transforming the game every time you play it. But that's not the case for most games. These are the rare games. Fall Guys, Among Us, Jackbox Party games. These are the rarities. These are the rarities. The more common games, the narrative games, the structured games, those games are going to be easy to claim for the companies. And they're going to be easy to defend on claim. That's why no one's gone against the big corporations, because you do that and you're likely going to lose. I mean, these guys have massive teams of lawyers that have gone over every part of copyright law, and they know all the arguments that can be made. And they know the precedents that have been set. Like, the only precedent that has ever been set that is in gamers' favor is the performative one of 1984-89. I linked it to you as part of one of the discussion threads. That's the only one. That's the only one that's ever been precedented for gamers. And that's a wholesale different experience. You know, that's standing behind a guy at a machine, physically blocking most of the view, playing a game. You're watching him play that game. You're not actually able to see the game fully in front. It's not a fully narrative game that you're seeing all the cutscenes of and all the experience of. It's not something that could replace an experience of playing a game like a stream or a video can. So, as much as I want to say you're right, you're wrong. And I wish you were right. I wish you had more of a point to stand on, but you don't. I mean, you can't compare it to basketball. You can't compare it to physical board games. It's closer to a movie or an auditory, like an audiovisual work, like a song or an audiobook. You know, that's where it is. It's this digital product that exists in such a way that you can reproduce it very easily, and they need to be protected differently. That's just the way it is. Now, I personally like the detente we're in. I don't really want to see changes be done. I don't want to see licensing fees come out and licensing agencies come out, similar to how the music industry is. Like, that would be horrible, but we have to accept that's the situation we're in. And that's not going to change anytime soon unless some streamer really wants to go against a major corporation.